Hi everyone, my name is Stéphane Begaudeau. I'm a software architect at Obeo, and I'm leading the Sirius Web project, and I'm making sure that everybody in the Sirius Web ecosystem move forward together. So over the past year, we have started working on AI integration in the Sirius Web ecosystem, and today I will show you what has been done and what's coming next. So first of all, let's have a look at what we are trying to accomplish. Of course, we want to ensure that Sirius Web-based modeling tools of our ecosystem can integrate AI-based features. We don't want to pick any favorite, so we want to be compatible with any model that our customers may want to use. We also don't want just to provide a connection to LLMs. We want to provide additional modeling capabilities using AI agents. This work is being done thanks to the Sirius Web extension, Obeo Enterprise for Sirius, which can be added to any Sirius Web-based application. Our current strategy aims at quickly producing concrete use cases that can be tested by end users. For that, we are moving forward with multiple experimentation to build a set of best practices for us and our community. So some of the APIs and patterns that we are using may change quite frequently while we are using this approach. We're also experimenting with our partners on the integration of multiple AI agents focused on specific tasks to create powerful agentic workflows. So right now, we are moving forward in two directions. On one hand, having the Sirius Web ecosystem acts as an AI agent. This agent would be within the Sirius Web-based application, and we would be entirely in control. On the other hand, we are also working on MCP API to let external agents query and manipulate the Sirius Web-based application. In this case, the application would just be one provider of data and tools, among others. So let's have a look at the work done with Sirius Web-based application acting as the AI agent. So as I said, using this approach, we are in control. And by we, I don't just mean us at Obeo in the core team, but we, the developer of Sirius Web-based application. We provide the user interface, can integrate it anywhere we want in the application. For that, we've started with a chat interface. In the Workbench, this is what most users are familiar with. We are in control of the prompt, too. The end user can, of course, provide the main message, but we can decorate it with additional data. Finally, we can provide a deep integration within the platform thanks to specific internal tools. This internal agent can simply talk to LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, but it can also act as a proxy for remote agents. These remote agents can have their own tools and data, and they can be configured for specific tasks, while we, on the other hand, have the modeling know-how. Regardless of this, this internal AI integration can provide tons of data about your modeling tools to the agent. It can be customized with data derived from the nature of the project, UML, sysml, arcadia, the data, of course, inside of the project, but also the state of your current workbench. For example, the representation, which is visible on screen, the current selections, among other things. So let's see how it behaves. So here you can see how the internal agent will leverage the data of the workbench. On screen, you have one of our large examples that we use in the Sirius Web ecosystem. It's the entire architecture of Sirius Web, all our classes, interfaces, everything from the source code of Sirius Web represented within Sirius Web. So here I can ask the LLM some information about the current state of the project, and it can navigate inside all of those data. But we can also pinpoint a specific selection and start querying the internal agent about this specific data. And here we have the answer of the LLM just focused on one specific element, and we can start working from that element. For example, if I want to know all the concepts that are linked with the current selection, things like that. We are not limited to what is displayed in the representation. We also have access to the semantic data behind the diagrams. Our internal integration also allows downstream projects to customize pretty much everything, from the system prompts to the execution mode and tools. We are providing some default, for example, some default execution mode, query and edit, and some default tools to query or edit the models, for example, but you can add new ones or even remove existing ones if you want. For the system prompt, we can have several levels of customization. For example, the generic low-level technical details, which can be refined with domain-specific details with a higher level of abstraction. And on top of that, you can come with your own methodology and have something which is closer to the way your end user really behaves. To give you an example, in Obeo Enterprise for Sirius, we are providing the generic low-level details. If you're using the CSON version, you would instead have additional information for the CSON domain. And with the Arcadia extension for CSON that we are building, which is currently a proof of concept, you would have not only those details, but details about the specific Arcadia methodology. In more concrete terms, it would be going from interacting with generic EMF concepts, for example, e-classes, e-attributes, to sysml v2 concept, like part or part definition, to the day-to-day vocabulary of system engineers with systems, components, and functions. We can't have system engineers interact with an AI agent using EMF concept or even raw sysml v2 details. This is not how they work. They don't care about the difference between owning membership and feature memberships, which are tiny implementation details of the sysml v2 domain. For the internal tools, we are in charge of what is being contributed. Specifiers can add additional tools, and we can give them a quick and easy way to retrieve the context of the end user, the current project, the current selection, or representations that are being opened. So if we have a look at our Arcadia extension, so here I'm opening a blank Arcadia project. I'm selecting a specific package because I really want to work on that logical architecture package. So I'm starting the discussion, and the LLM tells me that I'm selecting the logical architecture package, and it offers me some option. And I want to create the logical architecture of a modern smartphone. Right now, since we are working in the edit execution mode, the LLM will offer me to start planning what I want to do. So it will give me some a description of what it will do. The description is a bit verbose, but it explains everything that will be done, and it asks two things. It will ask me to both confirm that I'm OK with the plan. We can iterate on the plan before starting the execution, and it will also ask me to select various options for the plan. For example, do I want a hardware-focused logical architecture or more software-focused one? So once I'm OK with it, it will perform the changes, both semantic changes and graphical changes in the representation that I've opened, and it will tell me everything that has been done. So here, because I have this specific diagram open, it has created those graphical elements in these diagrams. And here, I've interacted with the LLM using the vocabulary and methodology of system engineers. So it has created for me components with subcomponents, logical functions, functional exchanges, things like that. And this is a vocabulary used inside of the discussion. We also worked on various user experience improvement, for example, to support batch modification for semantic and graphical update. So in the previous video, we were able to create several elements at once thanks to the LLM, which is way faster than just creating things one by one. We also worked on lowering the quantity of tokens consumed by the tools because these are expensive. And now the tools that are contributed can also stream some feedback back to the end user. The other approach we are working on is having the Sirius Web-based application act as an MCP server, which can be manipulated by an external agent. It is authenticating using your credentials and then can respect the permission and capabilities of the current user. If you can't see a project, you won't be able to see it with the MCP API. If you can see it, but only read-only, you won't be able to edit it. This can work with popular AI agents like Codex, Gemini, CLI, Cloud Code, and so on. And this way, you can work on a wider context. For example, you can work on multiple projects at once. And we are providing MCP tools with, this time, additional tools to work on this wider context. Search projects, create new ones, create organization. You could pretty much administer your Sirius Web instance with this. Part of the work I've shown you today is the result of collaboration between Obeo and CEL List in a joint laboratory on AI. In this laboratory, we are exploring the integration of AI agent for a better understanding of your data, but also for the onboarding of new user and the day-to-day assistance while you are using your modeling tools. These works help us add new capabilities upstream in various parts of the Sirius Web ecosystem. To conclude, let's have a look at what we are currently working on and what will be coming over in the next few months. In terms of user experience, we want to provide support for undo and redo. LLMs are great at generating tons of stuff, but if they mess up, if what you believed they would do while they are showing the plan is not what you were expecting, it is useful to be able to tell the LLM to just undo the changes. It's also useful to be able to tell the LLM to try something, evaluate this change, roll it back if it does not match, and try something else. We are also expanding the support for overrepresentation. Right now, we were focused mainly on diagrams. We are also working on improvement for the internal agent part with, for example, a work on follow-up question, because it may be a bit intimidating to figure out what we should ask the LLM at first. We also want to offer some personalized content in the conversation by leveraging the proficiency and the history of the user in the project. If you are a newcomer on the project, or if you've been working with it daily for the past 2 months, we won't have the same conversation. We also want to be able to pin the context of the chat client in the front end, just like you can do it with other contextual views in the Sirius Web Workbench. It will give you the ability to view more clearly the contextual data that the agent is using and have a stable context while working with other elements in the Workbench. For the MCP part, the main thing we will provide over the next few months will be the support for OAuth 2 authentication to simplify the setup, along with the support for MCP resource to work more easily with the external agents that support it. For example, the Copilot agent inside of VS Code. And that's it for today. So if you have any question, don't hesitate, or you can just send me an email. Thank you.